Hi, I'm Hannah McKnight, and we are here with the brand new episode of Help Me Hannah. I'm partnered with On-Femme, the premier brand who designs clothes for people who were assigned male at birth, and for people who identify as gender non-conforming who are looking to explore, their femininity. Alright, so today's episode is going to be inspired by the newest piece of mail that we have received. If you have a question, feel free to email me at hannahmcknight7@gmail.com. That's Hannah with 2 H's, so let's see how we can help. Help me, Hannah! How do I find cross-dresser friendly businesses? Signed, all dressed up, and nowhere to go. Ooh, this is probably one of the biggest questions that I am asked, and it's probably the one that I have the most to say about. So, fasten your garter belts, this is going to be a long one. So before we dive into the question, let's talk about the word cross-dresser. So this is probably the term that most people use when they email me, when they start asking about where can I go, where can I go shopping, who will treat me kindly, what kind of service will I get, how will people treat me as a cross-dresser. And there's a lot to unpack when it comes to that word, and it's a word that means different things to a lot of different people. I used to identify as a cross-dresser, and for some of us, we identify that way, even if it may contradict how somebody else would define that word. And for somebody who is not gender non-conforming, they may not know what that word means at all. They may be influenced by what television shows and movies have said that a cross-dresser is, and they may have the wrong idea about who we really are. So when it comes to finding a cross-dresser friendly business, you're probably not really going to find one at the mall, to be honest with you. If you look at like a store's website or a business's website, they're probably not going to have a policy on there that says cross-dresser friendly. Again, it's a very nuanced term with even within the gender non-conforming community. So if you're not non-gender conforming, you probably are not going to be using that word anyway. So when it comes to finding places to go, rather what I look for is I look for queer-friendly places, or I look for transgender-friendly places, or I look for that big sign on their window, or maybe on their website, that says something along the lines of, all are welcome here. So if you go to a store's website, or if you contact them and say, hey, I am a cross-dresser, I'm a transgender girl, I'm a gender non-conforming person, am I welcome in your shop? I can't imagine a business replying to you and saying, no, please don't come here, we don't want your money. I mean, let's face it, businesses want money, and can you imagine the public relations nightmare if you emailed a store and said, can I come here, and they say no? Stores aren't going to refuse your business based off of your gender identity, at least not on a corporate level. So the trouble is that businesses and stores and restaurants and cafes and restaurants are staffed by people. The store may have a very inclusive policy, but the people who are working at that store on that particular day, they may not like you. So even though company policy is that all are welcome here, or they may have people on their advisory board who are queer or gender non-conforming, the person who's ringing you up that day for a coffee or a dress, they may not like you. And they may make it very clear that they don't like you. So regardless of the store's policy, you are still going to be helped by somebody who has their own values and their own beliefs, and they're going to make their own decisions that day. So you can actually vote with your dollar. If you walk into a store and if you are not treated kindly, if you're not treated how you feel that you deserve to be treated, don't shop there. It's plain as simple as that. I have been going on film for a very, very long time, and in most of my experiences have been just absolutely wonderful. Or at the very least, they've been uneventful, where the person doesn't seem to react to the fact that I am transgender. Sometimes I just have excellent customer service, and it's just endless girl talk, and that's just the best thing ever. But sometimes I don't have that good of experience, so I don't go there. I'm not going to start anything, but there are some stores that I won't ever go to because of how I've been treated there, but that's that. Luckily, the internet is here, and it is easier than ever to buy clothes or whatever it is that we want to buy from the safety of our own home. There's a lot of queer-friendly businesses that I support, OnFem being one of them, supporting our gender non-conforming community. Again, this dress is from them, and you can find it at onfemstyle.com. But there is really nothing else like going out and shopping and doing things, presenting as one of your gender identities. So we've established the fact that there is not going to be a cross-dresser friendly business that you can go to. There's not going to really be a lot of places that are going to advertise themselves as such. That sucks. I can't promise that you're going to have the same experiences one day that you will have the next day. I have gone to very queer-friendly places, and then I've gone back there a couple weeks later, worked with another clerk, and kind of had a miserable time. So again, it's not always about what the corporate policy is or what the mission statement of any organization is. It does come down to the individual person that's working that day. There are some organizations and some companies that make it very clear that they are very supportive of the gender non-conforming community. They are very queer friendly. And I've gone there, maybe didn't have the best service. Maybe I was intentionally referred to as the wrong pronoun. I don't know. I have on occasion reached out to these bigger companies when I've had instances like that, which again hasn't been very often. And the company policy has always been very supportive. They've always been very serious about rectifying it and making you feel welcome. So again, it's not always about what the company says or what the company believes. It does come down to what that individual person is feeling that day. So where can we go? Well, universally, I have found lingerie stores as being very, very supportive to people like myself. I love lingerie. Lingerie shops seem to be very welcoming of our community, so it's a perfect match. So by and far, lingerie shops are one of the best places that I go when it comes to having a welcoming and affirming experience. All right, so where else can we go? Makeup stores I have found to be very welcoming to the queer community. Getting a makeover for a lot of us is a very intimidating but very exciting thing, and we worry about how are we going to be treated when we go in for, a makeover or buying a tube of lipstick. And all the time I've been going to makeup stores, either for a makeover or picking up foundation, I've always had amazing customer service. It's always been a very affirming, positive experience. Get a lot of questions from people who want to know what it's like to get a makeover, or how will a makeup artist react to me? How should I talk to them about getting a makeover? And we're going to be doing a video in the future that talks more about this experience. But I want to assure you that lingerie shops, dress shops, shoe stores, makeup stores, they're very used to working with the gender non-conforming community. You are not the first trans girl to walk into that salon. You're not the last one. You're not the only one. I feel that if you go to a store like that, you're probably going to have a really nice time. And again, it does come down to who's working. But some of the major salons, especially a lot of the chains around the country, they have a very inclusive policy. So far in this video, we've talked about, mostly like chain stores, stores, lingerie stores, makeup salons that probably have a presence in every mall across the country. But some of the best experiences I have are at small independently owned businesses. I tend to support these businesses more anyway, and it's wonderful when I can find like a small bookstore, a small cafe that is just as happy to see me when I am on film compared to any other time. So I know that most stores are not going to broadcast that they are really excited to see everybody, but this is about as clear of a sign as you can get. One more thought about today's video. Going out is a wonderful experience. It's been very affirming. I've gotten a lot of support. It has shown me that the world isn't as threatening to the transgender community as I was afraid it was. I have had amazing customer service in the years that I've been going out, and my experiences are not always consistent. Some days are great, some days not so great, even if I go to the same store. Your experiences may be different than mine. This is certainly not a video to impress upon you that everybody's always going to treat you kindly. Again, it does come down to interacting with other people. But, on a personal note, everything that I talk about is on a personal note, but filming this video, my photographer and friend Shannon Lee and I have been here for about 4 hours And we are in kind of an outdoor shopping district. There's ice cream shops, there's coffee shops, there's upscale boutiques, there's a lingerie shop, all sorts of different little stores and businesses. And we've been kind of all over the promenade, shooting and reshooting and trying to stay in the light, trying to avoid traffic. And we've had people in the background, we've had people walk into our shot. People have been asking us, what are we doing today? And honestly, these last few hours have been nothing but amazing. People have been kind to us, they've been polite, they've been engaging, they've been supportive about what we're doing. Um, it's just been a very affirming experience. Not once did I ever feel threatened or that I wasn't welcome anywhere. It's just been a wonderful afternoon. I'm hoping that you have wonderful afternoons as well. I'm hoping that you like or comment below. I would love to hear about your day. And we'll see you next time.